Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to It's Look Who It Is. Hopefully we don't get Knight Errant again, and I don't immediately forget that we're on Knight Errant. Oh, Exquisite Taste, much better. All unlocked. Oh hey, look! It's Look Who's back. It's her, she's here. We're playing Miku yet again. Not the Hatsune variety, of course. But we're so back. We are so back, we're here. Knowledge, strength, dexterity. Oh, hey, look, it's the exact same thing as last time. Who would have guessed? Who would have thunk it? Oh, God. When the taste is exquisite. So I'm gonna be real with you. We're probably rolling it like this. You can't justify School Nurse since the nerf, I think. You gotta go with the rest. You gotta go with rest. It's way better. It's absolutely way better. And we're gonna vibe like this for a hot minute. It's true. I do need to hide the screen real quick. So with that being said, what are we looking for in this run? Well, we're looking for the W, right? We're looking for the W. We haven't done Exquisite Taste in a while, by the way, so that'll be kind of fun how we handle this. Evolving Eels is pretty good. I was hoping to see Painting, because we ain't getting the light source without it. Unless we had Sailors there and I wasn't paying attention, in which case it could potentially be Timeline B and we maybe get a torch. But outside of that, it just ain't happening. So are we really just, like, sacrificing ourselves on the altar? I think we are. I need to get rid of this immediately, because if we get another flashbacks, we would instantly die. Now, we got Panic, which is still pretty bad. I am gonna buy the first weapon that I see, because I just don't want to deal with it, and we're gonna roll with it. So, we do need knowledge to be up to 8, so we might as well. I can't think of any reason why we wouldn't. But, oh yeah, here's something that I just thought of. So, listen, Josephine Hazard, I was gonna say youtube.com/c/Josephine Hazard, but I don't know if she has a custom URL yet. Oh no, she does. It's at Josephine Hazard 6204? Why is mine a C and why is hers an at? Huh. Anyways, I don't know. But, she started streaming our Static Prog as a free company, and that was genuinely really, really funny. It got off to a slow start because we were like 20 minutes late before we began, but when we actually start going into the new EX, it was really, really funny. Like, genuinely, I was laughing my ass off. It was a good raid night. So, definitely go check that out. At Josephine Hazard 6204/streams. Why is mine a C? Like, if I go to my channel, Maria, 1 second of Maria Carey. If I go to my channel, it's /C/Webweaver actual filler. Why don't I have an at? That's so weird. YouTube moment? YouTube moment. True. But, yeah, no, that was really funny. That was a really good, prog night. But anyways. I mean, technically we gotta cook, you know? Let him cook, let her cook. I liked it, I was good at it. I did it for me. True. You know, Breaking Bad is just so... It's just one of those things that it's like... It exists, and it's really, really good. Okay, I just got a text message, but it's nothing. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Breaking Bad. So Breaking Bad's one of those things that exists, and it's really, really, really good. But it's one of those things that's, like, incredibly misunderstood by, like... And listen, this is gonna sound pretentious as hell, but, like, people with no media literacy. Like, I swear to God, it's a... Breaking Bad is just like a fucking media literacy social experiment. Like, if you can find out how media literate somebody is by asking them what they think about Skylar White. And if they say, like, here's the thing, you're allowed to not like Skylar White because she is like an unlikable character, but she's also like the character who is not necessarily in the right, but she's not in the wrong, right? Like that's the thing, is because like you go on Twitter whenever Breaking Bad is brought up, and people will just go on the Skylar White hate train, and it's like, what did you want her to do, right? Like, she wanted to divorce, spoilers by the way of Breaking Bad, she wanted to divorce Walt, but she wasn't allowed to, and so she's just stuck with him. It's like, what do you want her to do? Like, everything that she does in the show makes sense for the situation that she's in. Like, is she a rude person? Yeah. But, like, also... Like, it's just, like, every time I rewatch Breaking Bad, it's just so crazy, because I'm like, yes, I do not hate Skylar White at all. I think she's, like, kind of annoying as a character. But that's literally the point, right? Like, she's supposed to be sort of this, like... She doesn't want to be involved in the situation, and so she's, like, this... Not necessarily foil, but she's sort of like a stick in the mud to the main character's fun. But she puts it into perspective, right? Because the main character's fun, Walter's fun, his enjoyment, is him being a drug warlord, you know? Or a drug overlord or whatever. A meth guy. Another, like, I like, people, like, it's fucking crazy, like, not watching, like, popular shows, hearing what your friends say about, like, the female characters in those popular shows, and then going to watch those popular shows and just being like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, I'll still never forget how, like, when Invincible was a new thing, well, not, like, a new thing, but, like, the Amazon show was a new thing, you know? People were always like, oh yeah, Invincible's girlfriend is such a horrible piece of shit, she's the worst character in the show, what a bitch. And I'm like, damn, she must be really horrible. Like, literally everybody that I know who watched Invincible hates her, thinks she's, like, the worst character in the show. Like, I wonder what she did. And she was just giving him a hard time and being mean to him because he kept lying to her repeatedly. And then when he does, like, the token gesture of, like, hey, don't be mad at me, please forgive me, and she doesn't immediately forgive him for all the shit that he did, it's like, she's mad at him, is like, oh, that's it? It's just like a person being justifiably angry at somebody lying to them and being manipulative in a relationship with them? Wow, that's kind of crazy. Like, it's nuts, man. Now, what the hell are we doing here? I've been looking at this 6 damage per turn thing for a while now, and I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I think we're just gonna get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I think we're just gonna get the fuck out of here. Was that our first enemy or our second enemy? I'm pretty sure that was our first enemy, but we will verify. Because we have been talking for 80 years. Yeah, it was, that's the first enemy right there. We'll buy him around. Get a little 5 EXP Andy going. But yeah, no, it's always wild to be like, to like have your friends like fucking hate a character and then watch the show or read the source material to get the context, and it's like, oh, I have no idea why they're mad at this fictional character. At all. But, I mean, I haven't watched Invincible in a while, but I just remember being, like, completely flabbergasted. Like, I watched the first season, and just, I was completely flabbergasted that they hated the girlfriend. I don't even remember her name. I don't remember Invincible's name. I just remember his superhero name. It's been a while, but, like, I'll never forget just being, like, completely taken aback. And also with the Skylar White thing, it's like, I watched Breaking Bad first. But like whenever you see, before like a lot of my friends did, but whenever you see like anybody talk about like Breaking Bad online, somebody is gonna be like, oh yeah, Skylar White, she's the most evil character in the show, and they're just gonna say that unironically, and you're gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, like Breaking Bad is like a masterclass in writing. It's really, really good. And whenever I rewatch it, I see things, and I'm like, oh damn, that's pretty cool. But like, holy shit, does this give you a bottle? I don't think it does, right? It does! Incredible. New tech. You'll love to see it. But yeah, no, it's just like, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are really fantastic. They're really good, don't get me wrong. But it's one of those things, like, if you've ever been mad at, like, how a lot of shows and media explicitly spell out their messages to you, and like, oh, you know, give the reader some credit, all right? I can read between the lines, or I have media literacy. I can understand what you're trying to say. You don't have to spell it out for me. Show, don't tell, etc., etc. If you've ever said that, you need to realize that, like, when they don't explicitly spell it out for you, people are gonna, like, unironically think that Skylar White is the villain in Breaking Bad, and that Walter White is the hero. And it's just, it's always really, really, really funny. But it's also pretty sad. Like, I'm gonna rewatch Breaking Bad eventually again, for, like, the third or fourth time. And every time I rewatch it, I'm, like, more and more sympathetic to Skylar White. And even, like, here's the thing, when I first watched the show, I was still sympathetic to Skylar White. It's like, I never understood the hate train. I never understood the hate train. Are we doing Household Hell or Bulletin? I don't know. We'll do Household Hell, why not? We didn't get the police station, so I don't have to care at all about whatever the hell that we're doing here as far as, like, threat levels are concerned. I mean, I should probably care. Is this our second enemy? Twisted Corpse into, yeah, Twisted Corpse into this guy. So Burning Man's second enemy, pretty rare. You don't see that every day. But, yeah, no. Oh, jeez. I don't even know how to, like... I don't even know how to say that, honestly, like... Every time I see it, it's just so bizarre. Like, there are just some people out there who, they do not get fiction. It's the same reason why, like, some people will be like, oh yeah, Fallout New Vegas isn't a political game. Or, like, the more recent guy who's getting publicly flogged on Twitter, because he said that, like, Final Fantasy games weren't political, and that he wrote, like, a fucking short novel about why Square Enix shouldn't have, like, a Pride logo for June. And he said that he'd played every single mainline Final Fantasy game, and that he was worried that the series is now getting political because of Square Enix's decisions to have a Pride mascot. And it's just like, brother, have you played... Like, you say that you've played every mainline game, including the MMOs, but I really don't believe you. Like, I mean, he specifically said that he played 14, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, ah, yes, the apolitical Final Fantasy 14, where the main theme for, like, 2 expansions is geopolitics and an invading supremacist government trying to take over the world. And, like, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but the Garlemald literally being designed to cause the most... Garlemald literally being designed to be, like, an unstable, oppressive regime to cause as much destruction as possible. Like, that being the goal of it as a civilization is just really, really funny. Because... You know, these are the kinds of people who would look at it and say, like, Garlemald, or, like, they would be on Garlemald's side. And it's like, they're the world's definition of, like, the worst TM, but I don't know, man. It's like you play, like, listen, I'm not gonna pretend to be like a Final Fantasy Andy. I only care about 14 and whichever game Lightning is in. I don't even remember which game Lightning is in, but it's the only one that I've played outside of this, and I want to beat it someday. Apparently there's 3 of them, because I was looking on Steam, and I bought the game that had Lightning in it, and then there was a part 2 to that game, and then there was another one that was called Lightning Returns, so I bought those 2 as well, and I need to sit down and play them, but, like, I'm not gonna pretend to be a Final Fantasy Andy, but, like, the idea that the guy on Twitter was like, oh yeah, the notoriously apolitical Final Fantasy 14, and it's like, oh brother, we found ourselves a cutscene skipper. But I don't know. It's just really funny. The famously apolitical BioShock and New Vegas. The fact that some people can say that unironically is so funny to me. I think we're actually going to take anatomy class just because it'll go hard against human enemies, but, you know, that shit is always just so funny, man. Like, I don't even know what to say other than it's funny, and people, I don't know how you would teach media literacy, but, like, media literacy needs to be something that people appreciate more, because, you know, there are people who believe, maybe it's just that the fact that Twitter boosts the blue check marks to the top of the replies now, but, like, there are so many people, maybe it's the illusion of so many people because they pay for Twitter Blue, but there are so many people, like, whenever Breaking Bad gets brought up, whenever Skylar White gets brought up, you'll have to scroll through, like, 80 replies of people calling her the worst character in the show, and only, like, a couple of them will be ironic, and it's like, I guess you can find anybody on the internet who agrees/disagrees with you, but, like, oh god. Maybe it's really funny that, like, Twitter Blue is such, like, a specific audience that you can kind of just expect, like, you know that if you see someone with a blue check mark, you kind of know what their opinions are gonna be about things before you even read it, right? Like, if you go on, like, one of those Breaking Bad posts, and you scroll down into the replies, and you see a blue check mark talking about Skylar White, you already know what they're going to say before you read it, like, 95% of the time. And I personally think that's really funny. Oh, I thought this one was the stamina one. Whoops. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the monument, and we're gonna cry when it says sanity. Okay, we're so back. That's literally all I wanted. It was an excuse to rest once. But, now what was I gonna say? I don't know. I just started thinking about those fucking Twitter posts, man. It all started with that damn Twitter post. And there's really no follow-up to that sentence, it just all started with that damn Twitter post. Like, that's completely correct. And yeah, let's just do a little bit of a chance time. You love to see something like that. Now, if we could get out of here as quickly as possible, that'd be great, you know? I would like to vacate the premises as fast as humanly possible. We're collecting bottles. We're gonna fill them up with these cute little glass stones and gems, and then put them in the windowsill so that when the sun shines in, they do all these pretty blue, purple, and like lavender lights. Hell yeah. At least I always use, like, the blue glass beads. Are we dead? I mean, I could talk about some random bullshit for, like, a few minutes to justify the episode length, but we can't run it back. Me running it back, me playing another run is another video. We're in the pre-recording arc, okay? We're in that pre-recording arc, absolutely. You know what would be really cool? A katana. But also, taking the stamina damage was fine anyways, so I think that was probably the best one that we could have got. What's with the ghosts? I don't mean to be rude, but I'm getting, like, sick of all these ghosts. I'm getting, like, sick of all these ghosts, you know? I'll throw an empty bottle. Get rid of these freaking ghosts. I ain't scared of no ghost. Now that's true. It's also copyright infringing. I think we'll take the sanity, because we're gonna level up soon. And unless the level up is good, we're not really gaining anything by rushing it. Now, Sailor's Existing goes hard, for sure. So we'll probably do that one, like, 4th. Now, we have to do this. We can't fight the boss. The boss is hard. The boss is hard. I don't want to deal with the boss. I would rather rest a couple of times. And if we take stamina, that could be more justifiable. But instead, it's still justifiable. And we were gonna rest anyways, but Gazoo kinda hit different, not gonna lie. Now, of course, this guy is not fun. I think we're probably gonna throw this bottle at him, if I had to guess. So we're just gonna get the use out of it that we can. So 2, 3, 4. We can do 5. Now, he does take bonus, actually, so we can just do this instead, which works out pretty nicely. I mean, discipline is good, don't get me wrong. But we're not really in the good place. Now, here's the problem, is that we only have one fund that we can realistically give, and it's going to ask for 2. So we can't go to the monument yet. Ideally, we would get a jar of blood and then go to the monument, and then it can have whatever it wants. I'd like to think this guy is weak to sharp. So we can just do that and feel pretty good. He's not weak to sharp. But we still have a pretty good chance to send him to heck, so just don't miss. She don't miss. Love to see it. Now, we don't have to go to the monument this mystery, but we are a little bit scared. Just a tiny amount scared. If we had charisma, this would go unimaginably hard, but you've got to take what you can get. Also, if we have Doomed already, then I might have gone for the reason gritty regardless, but that's fine. We don't have to put our right foot. That's okay, that's okay. Oh yeah, I don't even know if I said this, because I did like a rant about this on one of the World of Horror episodes, and that rant aged like milk, because they took away trios in Fortnite, but they actually brought it back in standard mode, which is the only mode that matters. It's like, oh no, you can only play duos and ranked, who cares? I honestly think the idea of ranked in Fortnite was probably one of the dumbest ideas. Because, like, people are still super sweaty in the standard mode, and you still have a lot of bots in the standard mode. It's just that they took, and this was after they took away trios and implemented ranked. Like, you just split the community in two in a game that really does not need it. Like, you can still do your competitive, like, tournament stuff, or whatever the hell they do. Just, you know. I don't think there needed to be a Fortnite ranked mode. And I think that maybe they agree, because you can only play duos and ranked now, which is pretty funny, but, yeah, long live trios. Like, that's the preferred squad size. Like, listen, I'm normally playing, like, let me explain why I think trios is the ideal, okay? Because I'm normally gaming with a friend at night, right? We're normally gaming, we're normally just chilling, okay? And so, if we get tired of Final Fantasy, we want to go play something else, well, here's the deal, alright? We probably don't want to do Fortnite duos, or if we do, we're only going to do it for a little bit, because For some reason, the both of us are incapable of playing Fortnite properly when it's in duos, but we're in squads, you know, we'll each get like 10 kills each, whatever. Not gonna sugarcoat it, but when it's just the two of us, we're bad. We're atrocious, we're horrible. It's like completely different people are playing. And so we don't want to play duos for very long. So we only ever want to play... So we're basically two people, and we are available to play Fortnite. And so that means that if any one of my friends wants to play Fortnite, then it's going to be a trios game. Now, what ends up happening is, if you have that friend who then invites you two, then you're a trio. And then all you need is one more friend for a squad. I think it's easier to scale up. If you have two people already, and a sort of vague group of people who play Fortnite who would invite you, it's easier to get a trios and squads than it is to get, like, I mean, solos, you know, you can play at any time. Duos, you could play at any time in my situation, but, like, it's easy to get a trios game going. And I think removing trios was very stupid, and I think they agreed, because, like, after they removed trios, we played, like, a night of squads no-fill. We got a couple of victory royales, but after that, we didn't touch the game for, like, a week, or like 2 weeks. It was, like, a week and a half, something like that. And then finally, they put trios back in the game, and now we are so back. But, I don't know. I feel like it was really dumb removing trios, and I feel like they agree. Because they brought it back immediately. We'll just do nothing, that's fine. We'll take the stamina. We have discipline, so I think we can lose stamina a little bit more. Now, I would really like to see some sort of... And here's the thing. We don't want to sell... Like, yeah, okay, we could sell the empty bottle and the ritual dagger if we're insane to get 2 funds under, like, the worst case scenario. But have you ever considered that maybe I would just like to get Jar of Blood and then go to the monument that way? That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. I mean, we can just do 90-90, right? Actually, no, we can just do this twice, and we're good to go. Takes bonus, even? Well, it doesn't matter, because we're gonna do the exact same thing no matter what. But, I saw the forest note, right? Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Absolutely. Web would never forget the forest note. Blood Moon. So, I mean, this is looking bad. Like, you're looking at 70% Doom, and you're like, what is it, Knight Errant? What the hell did you do? And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what I did. And we've even got Brightening Flood, so it's like, this is our last chance to reduce the Doom. So we're gonna have to do it big. Do I want to keep the handcuffs? Or the empty bottle? We're gonna keep the handcuffs. Alright, that's one thing that we actually did need, so... I'll be pretty happy about that. We're still waiting for, very unlucky. We're still waiting for any sort of, you know, Jar of Blood or... I mean, a bone saw works. Not having a police station really is, like... I can't believe... the exquisite taste was made more difficult because you don't have a fucking... because you don't have the fucking police station anymore. Like, they made the police station so strong. Okay, we're never gonna get a Jar of Blood. We're never gonna get a Jar of Blood. It is just copium. It's never going to happen. It'll happen in Flood. When we absolutely don't need it, under any circumstance. Please do not misclick here, that would be horrible. Do we have an ally? Of course, we got Kana. It is possible we could maybe kill Kana at some point, but I would rather not do that. It was everything but charisma, so I need to put a point to dexterity. Yeah, I think you just gotta go for it. I think you just gotta send it. And if it's money, whoa. Yeah, stamina's pretty good. And then I think at this point it has to be sanity, so it's a 33% chance. Because there's nothing that we can do to make this work. Like, you can't sell the torch. And we're not going to use the torch because it's bad. The bone saw sells for 1. The handcuffs sell for 0. No way the handcuffs are affected by fucking random item statistics, and random item statistics affect your trade-in value. This was +0 the last time we looked at this, and I've been running with it ever since. I don't want you to talk to me about that one ever again. If it says sanity, we'll do it. If it says anything else, we can't do it. Nope. As much as I'd love to, absolutely not. Now, of course, if we get any more plus doom, then it's just like, woe be upon ye. I saw our stamina change, and I was like, wow, we got owned. But we're actually completely fine. It was so Jover, and then we were so back. I don't know. After you lose, you're always gonna hesitate a little bit, because you're like, oh yeah, it's so over. But we don't have roads closed. Our stats are, like, decent enough. We're gonna be able to full heal before this boss, most likely. I mean, that does indeed work. Can't complain about that. Now, we just want to get... I mean, I think we want to get 2 of them. So we can rest twice. So we're going to get whoever's in the school, which happens to be the theologist, which is actually really nice. And then we will get another one. I wish I remembered who... geology or linguist? Well, I don't remember which area is doomed and which area isn't. So I don't know, the forest? Did we take 2 or 1? We took 1, so that's okay. I don't know, I like geology. I think geology is cool. Stamina is not going to be relevant here at all, so just, like... we want to do it like this, I think. Because getting that bonus damage is potentially huge, and then this will just kill. Now, I did actually, mess this up a little bit. Well, I don't want to die. Hold on, how much is this actually going to do desperation-wise? Because it's not going to do 14, it's going to do... 10? Wait, hold on. So this is going to do... Okay, so this is just +1, isn't it? Okay, yeah. So that's not gonna... That's not gonna get you there. You'd have to hit both of these. Which is, not good. We can't risk the game on that. But, like... we also can't really... Yeah, this isn't very good. I'm unhappy that we missed that one hit. Huh? Huh? No, hold on. I want like a fucking written dissertation about how that's supposed to work. This is supposed... Shouldn't it be doing 13? Because 12 plus... What is 12 plus 1? What is 12 plus 1? Because it's 6 on the power attack, and then we're getting bonus from anatomy class. So, it's 6 plus 6 plus 1. What is 12 plus 1? It's gotta round up or something, man. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, man. It's just so fucking, like, demoralizing. Like, it doesn't matter. Stamina doesn't matter for this boss fight, but, like, it's so fucking demoralizing to see, like, oh yeah, we're doing 12 plus 1, and then it just rounds up to fucking 14. It's like, oh, we could've won a turn early? Yeah, okay, cool. Like, how do you know when the game rounds up? And why does the game round up? Why doesn't it just do 12 plus 1? Because it doesn't take bonus damage into account. Unless, like, she was weak to the... Was she weak? Oh, okay. No, that was my bad. Because I'm pretty sure... Is this... I mean, the log is basically illegible. But it says, you slash at infested girl 8. And then... This says the enemy seems to be weak against this type of weapon. Okay, that was a my bad scenario. But also, like, I hate how damage is applied in this game in the first place. Because you just have to, like, remember. And also the log doesn't... Like, the log is bad, okay? The log is bad, and damage representation in this game is bad. Like, how the game displays damage is atrociously terrible. You just have to know. And so it's like, it was actually 12 plus 2 is 14, but it does round up sometimes. We've seen it happen with the monkey wrench. It'll supposed to be doing 14 or whatever, and it will do 15 with no bonus damage. Like, we've seen it happen before. I'm not crazy. I hate this game. I mean, we just have to hope that only the fertility idol attacks, because it does that sometimes. You might be wondering, why does it do that? Why? I don't know. I would rather get an attack in. Get a 50% chance to hit than a 40% chance to dodge. I think that's fair. And we just do this for a little bit. Although, admittedly, that's not a very good idea, now that I think about it. But now that I'm on an even number, does that matter? Because we could have been at 3 and done more. But now we could be at 2 and also do more. But the boss also has an untelegraphed special attack. So maybe we should just block. Or maybe I should just, like... Maybe we should just attack. I think we should just attack, yeah. Because we need to block, like, next turn and then Desperation on the last turn. So, Brace, attack again. We should be able to guarantee it dies next turn. So this is going to actually do 13. This is actually going to do 13. So we throw the Ritual Dagger. And then that's gonna kill. It actually did 13 damage. You love to see it. Now, am I stupid? Do we have a Takashi fight? It doesn't matter. We could beat him to death with a torch. There's no sign of Slanesh, so that was the correct thing to do. I mean, 4% attack speed? Sure, why not? Now, we're actually completely fine, because we have a light source and there's no charisma check. But there's also no Takashi fight either, so I don't understand why we wouldn't help Miku get some sanity back after everything she's been through. I think that's fair. I think Miku can live her life without one more perception, but I think Miku definitely can't live her life if she's on the brink of the freaking razor's edge. So, to recap, we're good, we're good, we're good, I think. We're good, I think we're good. And even if we aren't good, it's still fine. So, you just say, fuck it, we ball, and you hope that your own panic does not influence Miku or Kana. They need to be able to make it up on their own, and they're climbing up the stairs. I don't know, what did we do? Was like hell or something? Yeah, something like that. Your discipline and hard work of picking an option on the screen, it pays off. I mean, I did remember it, kind of. And we could have survived even if we needed to throw the torch, by the way, so that's pretty cool. Okay, now she can have that extra bit of perception that she needed. Okay, that was a run. I still hate how damage is applied in this game. I wish, like... like, here's the thing. I said this before bonus damage came out, and I stand by it. Like, when you... Oh, if only I was 6 seconds faster, damn. I've said this before, but I'll say it again, is that when the bonus damage was first announced, I was like, if this is just +1 damage on some enemies for weapon types, it's gonna be, like, pretty mid, and just, like, a nice little bonus sometimes, which is exactly what it turned out to be. I was 100% correct. But the thing is that with it, as a consequence, the game does this weird thing where, and I get it, like, there's the two World of Horror wolves, the two wolves that are inside Shiikawa, okay? One of them is make the game more gameplay focused and clearer so that the game is more enjoyable to play and easier to read. And then the other wolf is make it more difficult to read because this is an old school game that is supposed to be hard. Those are the two wolves that are inside the World of Horror. And, like, yeah, I get it. But, like, I think it's such a weird... Like, the thing is, I feel like this game is in this weird sort of, like, limbo-esque of it doesn't fully appeal to either crowd, and it just sort of exists how it is, which is pretty based. Like, it is what it is. Like, you can genuinely say that about World of Horror, and I think that's pretty cool. But it feels very scrunkly. And by scrunkly, I mean, like, there are features that are just weird compared to how the game is built and how the game plays. Like, some of the features feel, like, antithetical to how the game itself plays, and the gameplay, to some extent, feels weird on how, like, thematic it is, if that makes sense. So, it's a very interesting experience, and I don't know how to put it into words. I would have to think about it, like, a lot, and, like, write it down, to try to get it onto words properly. But, it's just very strange, because there's a lot of things that the game does that I'm just like, huh? Just like, bro is flabbergasted. And there's just, like, there's a lot of things that you need to keep track of as well, but, like, they're all very mundane things that the game, like, could just keep track of for you. Like, like, listen, this is what I have, I've said this before. Once you assess an enemy once, you should have that enemy's lore and weakness to be able to be displayed in every single run. And I know you might say, like, oh, but that would make assess the situation pointless. You'd only have to do it once as a chore, and then after you do it, you have everything unlocked and you never have to do it again. Let me ask you something. When have I ever assessed the situation? I've assessed the situation on, like, a couple of enemies whose weakness... I have assessed the situation on enemies to read their lore, and then never again. Right? Like, that's it. Like, assess the situation is... Because it's not a free action... Like, if it was a free action, but it took up, like... Okay, if it was an action that cost 0 or 1 time units, and it just took up, like, one of your 8 per turn actions, then that would be okay. If it was a free action, or it was basically negligible, non-existent, but it still had, like, a somewhat price to pay, then sure, I think it would be I think it would be better. But, like, the problem with it is that it takes up 30 time units, which is insane, doesn't give you anything valuable from, like, a gameplay perspective. Like, it doesn't help you in any way whatsoever, right? Like, it's not, you know, I can't believe I'm making this comparison, but in one of the older World of Horrors that I was given access to, when you were fighting the ribcage creature, or whatever it was called, because it wasn't ribcage woman back then, right? It was something else. It was like ribcage something or other. You could, in a way of killing it, you could roll a dice to, like, put a branch and, like, jam it into the ribcage to, like, stop it from moving, and then that would, like, instantly kill it, you know? If assessing the situation worked in a similar way that did, where it sort of, like, gave you this little, like, text adventure of how you killed this monster in, like, a desperate way, and you're, like, taking damage during it or whatever, I think, and it would be like a series of D12 dice rolls. I think that would go kind of hard, but that would require it to be reworked, and that would be way too much effort for the point of the game's development that we're in. But like, as it stands, assess the situation is something that is completely useless and detrimental to you to use. Because you just have to, like... Because here's the thing. It's a tax anyways. You use it once and then never again. Because first of all, the +1 damage doesn't really matter. Like, it rarely comes up, and when it does come up, I don't really care. Like, sometimes it comes up and it's pretty useful, but most of the time you can get by without having to worry about if you're getting +1 damage from the enemy. Like, I don't have them memorized, I don't really care, I rarely look them up on the wiki. But the thing is, after you've assessed them once, you theoretically know their weakness forever. It's just if you forget it, right? So at that point, you just go to the wiki and look it up, and you don't feel bad about it, because you've already assessed the situation once, and there's no, like, value or gameplay to be had from it. And here's the thing, you're either getting the bonus damage or you're not, right? It's not like, oh, this enemy is weak to blunt weapons, but if you assess the situation, your blunt weapons do +2 or +3 damage instead of just +1, right? Like, there's nothing there with it. Like, assess the situation is just such a weird ability. It's just such a weird skill. And listen, you might not like what I'm about to say, but a lot of people are going to do this, especially when the game launches. When people learn that assess the situation exists, and that it shows you what enemies are weak to what weapon types, people are just gonna look it up on the wiki. They're just gonna look up the name of the enemy that they're currently fighting to find out what his weakness is. Like, that's it. Like, they're just gonna do that. Like, you've made something that, and I know, listen, there's a lot of things that you can do in a game that are invalidated by a wiki, but, like, what I'm saying is that this is something that is completely invalidated by just first of all, just playing the game, period. Because you don't ever need to do it. There's no point to do it. There's no purpose to do it besides the lore. So after you've done it for the story, which, you know, I don't... Why are you hiding the story behind assess the situation? A new player who's nervous and are trying to win their first game, they're not gonna waste, like, 30 time units in their turn. Like, that's 3 boosts? That's like a prepare? Or, sorry, that's like a prepare or like 2 boosts, or like 4 boosts or whatever, sorry. I'm trolling. Fake fan. Never played the game before. Baby. But I don't know. I'm not a... I'm gonna cut the rant off here because, you know, I need to record more episodes of this, like at least 2 or 3 more. But it's just so weird, man, because it's like, you're giving people a feature that's actively detrimental, and it's like significantly detrimental enough that like people won't do it once they figure out what it is. Because once somebody figures out that they don't need to assess an enemy to get the bonus damage, never happening. So I hope that it gets buffed. I honestly hope that it gets buffed. And I mean, obviously it can be done. Like, the camera is useful in very niche situations, and I'm not going to call a niche item bad, especially because it gives you like a flat stat increase. So it's like, it's a flat stat increase, it gives you a blue option, and in incredibly niche situations, it's actually really powerful. Like, I'm not going to ever give anybody crap about that. That's a good item. That's a multi-purpose thing. And so I just wish assess this. First of all, I would say you should be able to have the enemy lore without assessing the situation. Because listen, it would be so cool to watch somebody stream World of Horror, and if their mouse cursor hovered above like the enemy's name, they would get the enemy's story, and then they would read it, and then they could see like, oh, here's the enemy's weakness, or like, here's the enemy's like weakness and enemy type and blah blah blah, but you have to assess the situation to find out, you know? Like, they could get the story, and then it could like say, assess the situation to find out more about the enemy. That could be kind of cool. So I don't know. I think it should either be like purely story stuff, so that you know what you're doing. Like, you're like, okay, yeah, I'm just trying to get the story and the lore, I want to read it. Or it should be like, it should actually give you a benefit besides something that is, once you do it once, then you just, like, can write it down and then never lose the information, you know? And if you don't write it down, then you just use the wiki. I don't know, maybe I'm being pretty, like, dumb here. But, yeah, I'm not a big assess the situation Andy. I was always skeptical of bonus, I was always skeptical of the assess the situation. And, I feel like it should definitely either get, like, if you wanted to keep it how it is right now, but make it more usable, make it take up, like, 5 time units or something. Make it take up, like, 5 time units. And then you could use it a lot more. Because most characters aren't hitting the 8 action limit, and they usually have, like, 5 or 6 time units to spare. So then you could use it, and it's basically, it would be free, and you might feel like that's too easy or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like a big draw of this game for people is the story and the theming, and so being able to, like, actually see, because, like, first of all, I don't think assess the situation is in the tutorial, is it? Like, I guess we could see real quick. The story so far. Oh yeah, the straight razor. I remember this. Can I actually equip this before the combat starts, please? Thank you. I actually want to see this real quick. Like, I'm pretty sure I should have turned the combat tutorial on, because then it forces you to do certain things like scavenging for, like, a stupid weapon or whatever. Meditate, brace for... I don't even know where it is. Here it is. Yeah, so it's 30 time units for eye moment. Bloated Legion, no special skills. Also, don't you get bloated if you fight this guy? So that's like... That even there. Because, like, hold on, doesn't he, when he goes underwater... I'm not gonna stay around long enough to find out, but I'm pretty sure this guy afflicts you with the bloated status, doesn't he? If you're gonna spend 30 time units to look at this shit, it should at least tell you, like, inflicts bloated status effect. Yeah, bloated teacher emerges from the water, rancid meat, telegraphed double damage inflicts bloated. Like, wouldn't it say, like... right here under Bloated Legion, has skill inflicts bloated on target or something? Like, if this was a card game, and you played this card, and somebody was like, alright, I'm gonna fight the bloated teacher, and then you're just randomly, you were like, okay, you have bloated now? And it's like, wait, what? It doesn't say on the card that he gives you bloated. And it's like, oh yeah, no, it doesn't say on the card that he gives you bloated, but he does. It's in the rule book. Page 36, loser. Anyways, stay safe out there. Have a good one. Bye.